without further ado, let's get things started. So the first session in the Game Maker's Insight track today is called our Superstar session, which is the Pokerface Explosion, the app that changed poker. And for this session, I would love to introduce Reggie Yativ from Agora.io or Ben Shimon from Comunix.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm great. Guys, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you everyone for joining. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is I'm stepping in for Reggie, who couldn't make it, but I am Mike Lopez, the Senior Director of Sales here at Agora. Just to give you a tidbit on Agora, we are the #1 provider for real-time engagement, and we do this through voice, video, and streaming services. And I'd like to quickly welcome a special guest here. We have Mr. Ben Shimon. He is a serial entrepreneur, 10 years of experience, and is currently the co-founder and CEO of Comunix. Are you available?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Very well, very well. Good to have you. Yeah, so obviously the idea of what we want to do here is explain a little bit in terms of, a little bit about your background, but of course, understand more about, Pokerface. And I think it'd be good to start off with kind of, sharing how Pokerface came to be.
Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah,
okay.
There you are. I wanted to take this time to ask if you could share a little bit, just kind of, the idea of Pokerface and how it came to be.
Yeah, so the idea comes from my partner and I. We are good friends for almost 15 years now. And we started to separate, from our old school friends for years. And we always played our Saturday night, poker nights. 2 years ago, we come up with the idea how we can build something that we can help us to play with our friends again and see them and talk with them, like old times. And this is Pokerface come out. We try to do some demo for us and to see if it's something that can help us to achieve this goal and to bring the value again for us and to see that.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. And, I think, poker, of course, people look at poker as being, hey, this is just in most cases, if you look online, it's simply play with a few pictures and people are, placing bets and so forth. So it seems pretty kind of, I wouldn't say boring, but at least not as engaging. So I'm curious as to, when you incorporated video, how did that impact your guys' application?
Yeah, so when we start, we say that we want to build something that will feel for us like real life, right? So we find the solution of, okay, we are in the right time for video. Let's try that to see if it gives us the best solution. As you said, most of the games in the social area are you playing there against avatars. It's look like you're with your friends, but actually it's their Facebook photos, right? Or some avatar that they purchase. So when we started to say, okay, let's try video and see how it works, we actually get completely different experience. We saw that people actually like the idea to be, now it's a good time because everyone started to speak on FaceTime or on Agora and a lot of tools, that can help them to see one with each other. So why not to put it in your favorite game and to start to see your friends all the time, your family,
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's super engaging. I think actually what I wanted to do is, share with the audience a little bit about your application, Pokerface. So I'm going to quickly share my screen and get this up and running really quick. We'll go ahead and I'll get working on this in a little bit, or towards the end, we'll get that going up there. Really quickly, what I wanted to touch on was, obviously I wanted to show the application, so we will get around to that. But in the meantime, in regards to obviously you guys incorporating the video, I wanted to get some feedback on what have the players, what have they said? What is the feedback they're giving you in regards to this, with adding the video in comparison to having it without the video before?
Yeah, so we actually didn't try the app without the video, but we can see, comments on other apps and to see what they don't like. But what we get, it's something that we never saw it in the gaming industry. People started to meet new poker friends.
Yeah.
They started to say that it's helped the video communication in the app actually helped them, to improve themselves and how to speak, how to approach the people. A lot of people, we heard about people that meet in the app and actually get married. We heard about people that started to, because the video, they started to get strongly connection with other friends or new people that they met that actually start to celebrate birthday offline. It's helped us to build strong communities, all over the world. And this is all the comment what we get all day, every time, that how cool it is, how it's helped them, and when they super far one from each other. And it's really make us feel good, because you feel that you have a lot of people with the same in the same area like yours.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I can only imagine that it's help people stay connected, right? So I think
This is all what it's about.
Yeah. Now I was wondering, obviously, we touched on some of the good parts of, the benefit of adding, the video piece and everything, but I wanted to know, could you share a little bit on the metric side? What are the metrics that you're seeing in terms of, with adding the video, anything like that you could share with?
Yeah, so basically when you have a video and you have strong connection from, the users, it's actually give you a lot of benefit on engagement time. Engagement time increasing minimum of 20-30% on what you already have. Yeah, because it's like when you're sending an email, you're right, it's 2 seconds, 3 seconds to send an email. When you're going to talk with on the phone, it can be 10 minutes. When you're in person meeting, it can be an hour. Video, it's most of the time, it's between 25 to 35 minutes. So this is the ballpark that we saw on when you put people together in a video and audio experience.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the piece too, is that you find a lot of gaming companies or just applications in general, they don't know what this technology will do. They don't know the metrics. So to put actually some perspective on what the pros are in regards to adding something like this is huge. So that's great. So thank you for sharing that. I think we are kind of short on time, but I wanted to quickly ask, with the recent unfortunate COVID-19, how has this impacted the whole gaming space? What are you guys seeing, and what's your thoughts on it in terms of as it progresses and going forward?
Yeah, so the gaming space actually, most of the game get a lot of traction in this period of time because people stay home. For us, it was opportunity to help a lot of people to stay connected through and most of the people start to connect through video chat apps, but with us, it's actually bring them a lot of value. They can still entertain with them friends while they're talking, while they see one each other. They separate all the time. We saw a lot of increase in Italy, France, US. Actually, New York was the most exploding that we had. A lot of players say that it's actually, I'm saying, like that, save them from not to get, the mind going to explode in 1 minute at home. It's helped them to stay connected with their family and their friends. So for us, it was amazing time to help the users all the time, to be there for them on the communities. And I think all the gaming industry, they feel the same way. But when you have the video, it's something else.
Yeah. I mean, I think the video thing is, I hadn't seen it before, but as I'm starting to see more and more that, I think with COVID, it's only kind of put video in the spotlight of saying, if you're going to be stuck at home, how do you stay connected? How do you enable yourself to not feel alone? And we're seeing that the more and more a lot of these different companies are, seeing the value in the video and how that allows people to stay connected. So that's a big piece. Now, actually, one thing I didn't get to touch on, I would love to hear kind of how you got acquainted with Agora. So, you know, in regards to before all this, how did it come to be that, you know, we were able to connect?
Yeah, so at the beginning when we start, myself, I've been in the industry for a long time, and when we started the company, I told to my partner, listen, we have to do two things. We have to build it right and fast. And it's two things that most of the startups, it's not matching, you know. It's hard to build quick things and running up, and it's really hard decision to do. When we start to understand that most of the companies, video companies, is actually focus on a lot of other stuff like banking, healthcare, and we find you guys, it was amazing because we've been in the same state of mind that the gaming industry need to change. And this is the next step of this industry. The multiplayer game need to change. They need more communication. And actually, it's the right time to say thank you guys for help us to kick us out as fast as I never imagined that it's going to be that fast. I think this is the right choice to do when you have something that it's good quality and you want to see an MVP on the market and to see that if it's just working, you don't know the impact. As you say, most of the companies afraid to do something like that because they don't understand the impact and they need to hear someone else doing that. But when it's easy, plug in, try that, make an A/B test, see how it works. If it works good, push it more. If it's not, try a different way to do that. You have tons of way, maybe just a video, maybe video with a audio, maybe just an audio. You know, some games need just the audio on the side, like RPG games and stuff like that. Not everyone need both of them.
Yeah,
but definitely have to try it.
absolutely. Well said. Well, thank you. Or really quickly, I'm going to try to go ahead. I want to give the audience a show of, you know, what Pokerface is. So let me try one more time to get this set up. I think I can do it. Okay. Or can you see the screen?
Yeah.
My screen?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to leave it on this before we start the video. Obviously, I want to give the audience a quick overview of the Pokerface. I've had the pleasure of playing it myself. I love it. I've actually had family members mention, hey, have you tried this new poker game? And you can actually stay connected with the family. And I, you know, stumbled upon it. It was funny how I was like, wow, actually, this is a customer of ours. So, you know, it is engaging. The ability for it to allow people to come together, laugh together, play and share these virtual gifts really does add an element of humanization to it. You know, and this, especially during a time like this, we find that people need something like this. This allows us to catch up and have good times, you know, with these things that are within the game, such as the filters, masks, virtual gifting. It really is an experience and it is fun. And I highly recommend that everyone test it out with friends, family, and so forth, rather than having to use multiple displays, one on a TV and one using a laptop. This is it. This is the answer where it's all in one put together. So please, you know, definitely check out Pokerface and, you know, share your thoughts. But first and foremost, I want to go ahead and play the video. There might be a little audio, so I'm going to try to mute the audio wise, but this should give you a quick overview on Pokerface. So I hope you guys enjoy. Here.
The audio is muting.
Oh. Well, then I got to start that over then really quick. Or let's start all over. Sorry about this. All right.
I have to say that what's something that's super important, the app is social, you know, it's not real gambling. So this is what is all why it's so fun. You can actually play all day if you want, just you know, with your friends.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that that's something important to point out too, is that this is not just a game; it's a social. It's games become, I believe, mundane when after a certain set of minutes, you're just like, okay, like, is this all we're going to do? But having the video in something like this allows people to not only play the game, but catch up on, topics, or talk about how things are doing, or how people are doing, and so forth. So it like I said, it's a whole nother experience that I think, everyone should get a chance to see, or at least to play. So, but yeah, so this was the. So yeah, I think with that being said, I think those are all the questions I have, or it's been amazing, in terms of just seeing the growth wise, in terms of you guys expanding out, not just, regionally, but globally. You guys are expanding. I can't tell you how many times I see your guys' game on Instagram and so forth. So it's, I'm really excited for you guys, and to see
Thank you very much.
you guys will continue to do so. So with that being said, I think I wanted to take this time to open up to the audience if there's any questions, comments. It's open. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there's a question here. There's so many channels now, from Twitch and YouTube to Instagram to TikTok. As a developer, how do you work out where to focus? I'm not sure if this is a question for you.
Not that much. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, maybe, Kate, are you available?
Yes, I am here.
Hi, Kate. I'm just curious. I'm looking at the question, and I would definitely want to make sure that we answer it, but I'm just curious as to know if this would be, it is saying that there are so many channels now, from Twitch and YouTube to Instagram to TikTok. As a developer, how do you work out where to focus? You know what? Actually, I think what we're saying here, or at least what's being asked here, is, in terms of, because there's so many different channels, they might be asking, how do you maybe position this from a getting it out there? I don't know if that's maybe the question. I apologize if I'm not answering correctly or positioning wise, but let's just say I did mention that you guys are on Instagram. So, why was it your choice to go ahead and choose Instagram as the marketing funnel, rather than, let's say, Twitch or YouTube, or maybe you are doing those other ones? I don't know.
Yeah, we so basically we're doing most of the channels, as you say, but as you say, that Instagram is one of our main channels, because we're trying to get younger audience. Most of the social poker industry, and actually most of the poker industry in general, real gambling, social gambling, there are older audience, older player around 40, 50, 60 years old. The video help us to get to a younger audience, around 21 to 45, 25 to 45. This is the type that we want to target first. We think that actually now with the COVID-19, that the video start to be familiar to most of the ages. It's actually helped us a lot to target more players around the world. But for us, it was the best channels to start with.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you have, it's so crazy to see how many different outlets there are for marketing, right? Like, you see Instagram, Facebook, they've probably been the most established, but yet you do see that, TikTok, it has come up, and, things like Triller and so forth. There's just different avenues that are expanding. So I'm sure, especially as you guys grow, you guys will take the time to look at the different avenues to continue marketing. So that's awesome.
Definitely.
And if you don't mind, because we only have that one question at the moment, one little thing I'll add to that is, I think from what I understand is they're asking a kind of higher level general question, is kind of to what you just said. I would recommend to this person who asked that you have to look at who your potential demographic is for your game. And then, there's a lot of data out there on who uses Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We kind of instinctively know that TikTok and Instagram are definitely a younger demographic than some of the other platforms. So if you go out there and hunt for some of that data, that might help guide you on what you may want to focus on depending on what your game is about. That would be my advice.
My advice as
Absolutely.
well. It's you have a lot of place to research this statistics.
Yeah, and like we touched on, it's crazy to see just how diverse all these different things are. Like in terms of how we would have to pay for the certain marketing and to get the exposure. Now there's so many of these social media channels that really it's just a matter of how can you place yourself, or the hashtags, or things that are going to be appealing to people to make them say, hey, look, I keep seeing this Pokerface. What is this? Let's learn more about it. So yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, I think that's all the questions we saw in there. But again, like I said, it's been amazing. In terms of working with you, knowing you. And I only expect to see Comunix and Pokerface continue to grow and climb. So
thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Oh wait, hold on. As being a social nowadays is key. So there's another question, really quick. Or as being a social social nowadays is key. How is Pokerface helping deal with the loads of lockdown?
Can you repeat on the question again?
I think, I think with, we touched on this a little bit earlier, but in regards to us all being on lockdown and COVID-19, the question is, how is this impacting your business? And, again, I think touching on what your customers are telling you about how this is helping them, maybe you can share a little bit on how this is impacting that.
So how it's affected us, it's we saw super high growth. Our user base multiplied almost by 10 in this time, because we understand that people staying at home and they need something that can help them to meet their friends online, because they can't offline. It's impossible when everyone locked down. So when we started to push more marketing on this time, we wanted to bring people the opportunity to do that. And we got a lot of feedback of that people say that it was an amazing area to start to engage with their friends again and meet their families again. And they started to freak out that they're not going to see their friends in the next 2 months. And now they can see them. They can actually, people have been in the app for hours a day, just, have fun a little bit with their friends. Now we see these customers still playing in the app, from this time. Most of the Europe and on these countries start to go a bit to normal, but we saw that in the US, it's still everyone is still in lockdown. But people send us amazing comments on the communities that how it's helped them, during the pandemic on everything that connecting to their friends and families.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for that, Or. Any other questions? All right, Kate.
Yeah, looks like we may be about done. So yeah, thank you guys very much. That was fantastic. And so yeah, we can either, if you have anything else you want to add as a kind of a parting word, feel free. We've got a couple minutes left before the next schedule. Otherwise, we can move on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would just say that, anyone who is, all the participants, thank you all for joining. And please go check out Pokerface. As I said before, it's a very addicting game. It's fun, it's engaging. It's definitely a different experience. So please check it out. And like I said, provide feedback, anything, or is always open to suggestions and improvements. So yeah, absolutely go check it out.
Definitely.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks very much.